I am on a journey to becoming. My growth is a process, and I would like to take with me as many people who desire this growth as I journey to become. I'm going to be giving some perspective on family life and living. Today's video is going to be focused on parenting. Please stay tuned, watch this video till the end so you can get the whole juice out of it. A very warm welcome to you if you're new to this channel. Here we talk about life and living life as God would have us live. Please do well to subscribe, like my videos, share my videos with your friends and family members so they can also benefit from what we talk about here. And don't forget to also click on the notification bell so you can be among the first people to know when videos are uploaded. And to my returning subscribers, I love you. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for sticking by. Parenting is a blessing and an opportunity given by God to mold a child's life, the morals, and the general understanding of the world. Though it can be very, very challenging, especially when raising a proper and balanced child in this generation of ours. But it is possible when you have the right structure in place. As given by God, a parent has the most influence on a child's life. But this assignment cannot be achieved in isolation. There is need to consult and partner with the Creator so as to achieve the desired intention by God. Briefly, I'm going to give an example. You know, when you buy a phone or an electronic, for instance, and you want to couple it or you want to assemble it for use, you would have to look through the manual to see the user specification by the manufacturer of that item so you can know and use this item in its utmost capacity, because you can get an item and you don't really know what exactly it can do, the extent of what the item can do or be used for. But when you go through the manual, you see exactly how well you can use this product and what capacity it has. That same principle applies to parenting. You know, God has given us these lives to steward, and so we need to refer back to God, to seek Him, to know exactly how He would have us raise the children He has given to us so they can become who He wants them to be. And so we cannot parent, we cannot raise up proper children in isolation. We need to partner, we need to seek the Creator. Is the number one enabler. In addition, having a support team that share the same value and belief system can give perspective, proper perspective to accurate parenting. So we need all the structures in place to achieve this assignment, to achieve the results of this assignment given to us by God to parent these children. The major ways to raise up a proper and balanced child who will love God, effectively serve Him, and be relevant to the society is by training, by loving and discipline. Training, love, and discipline will help raise a proper and balanced child who will love God, will serve Him effectively, and be relevant to our society at large. And to train up a child, of course, the parent has to learn about that child, and the parents must grow in the process, and that's what we are about this season, growth. As we are working and aiming to raise up these children in a proper way that will be relevant to our world, we also are growing to become. All right, Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The primary training ground for a proper child is the home, and the areas that should be emphasized on for training should be on character development and in the things of the Lord. Character development and in the things of the Lord. Character development is all about the conduct and behavior, attitude of the child. All right, and the things of the Lord, of course, has to do with loving God, serving Him, and living for His glory. Man is known by his action, and the conduct of a child is really important to God, and parents must treat it as so. We don't have to set up a training time for character development in our child. This character training is done as we live. This character training is done as we engage, we relate with people, as we share, accommodating others, in our manners, integrity, virtues we portray as we do life and living. As we live, we are teaching these children to build their character. I've come to realize that children are actually good imitators. The power of example do well to train a child than anything else. So parents ought to live by example. We are the primary role model for these children. Parents ought to live by example. These children, they by default internalize and mimic what they live with. I will cite some examples. A child who lived with condemnation, criticism, we learn to condemn. A child who lived with acceptance, we learn to love. A child who live with approval, we learn to like himself. A child who live with, say, fairness, we learn justice. Yes, a child who live with sincerity, honesty, we learn to value truth. So the question now is, who are you? What do you project to this child, to your children? Who am I? What do I project? What do I present to these children that God has entrusted in my hand? This is something we need to think of and make necessary adjustments where possible. Because these children are seeing all we are doing and they are internalizing it. We won't know. But they are seeing and they are learning, and that is forming who they will become. That is forming who they will grow up to be. It's forming their character. We have to be careful. I pray God will help us all. God will help us all. Aside training a child in character development, the parents also has the responsibility to teach and ensure that a child knows God, loves God, serve, trust and obey the Lord, and most importantly, fear the Lord. You have to expose your child to the presence of the Lord. Expose your child to the Lord. Join a Bible-believing church. Don't just join to attend. Be actively involved. Be actively involved in church. Ensure and teach your child to love church. Oh, it is safer in church. No matter how messy, or no matter how we think church is today. It is safer. Teach your child to love church. Be actively involved and teach them to love church. Pray with your child. Devotional time is important. Read and study scriptures together. Read and study scriptures together. There are lots of programs out there, Christian programs out there, that your child can be exposed to help them know God. We have to expose our children to the things of the Lord as possible as we can. Listen and play worship songs. Teach your child to worship. Yes, teach your child to worship. Teach your child to pray. It is important what we expose these children to. What we expose them to inform what and how they see life when they grow up. This is not like a guarantee of salvation for a child or for your child, but it creates an environment. It creates an environment for your child to encounter Jesus for themselves. All this creates an environment. Of course, you will keep praying that your child will encounter Christ, will know Jesus for themselves. But with all this in place, your child has that environment and will meet with Jesus for themselves. This training involves repetition. It involves reinforcement. It involves encouragement. It's not a one-off thing. It's not a one-off thing at all. We keep at it. We repeat. We reinforce and encourage them when necessary. God will help us. Don't be weary of doing the needful. Keep at it. Keep at it. And these children will grow up to become who God will have them be. Trust me. It is worth it. It is worth it. I pray for strength for all of us. I pray for grace. I pray for wisdom. I pray for all the resources that we need to raise up these children, to steward these children in the way they ought to go. That when they become old, they will not depart from it. God will help us. God will strengthen us. And God will teach us consistently how. I am Temi, aka Crossy Mama, and I'm just sharing my thoughts. God bless you.